Hola, I am so excited to finally be able to invite you into my kitchen. I've always wanted to create content for YouTube, but I've always found myself really busy with other projects. At the start of this year, I told myself, Esteban, this is the year that you finally have to just sit down and create stuff for YouTube. And so this weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn on the cameras and see what happens. So I have a lot of faith in these cameras that they're gonna stay on and record the whole time. And I really just wanna see what happens. Today, we're gonna be making one of my favorite cocktails. It's called La Cuba, and it's really special to me because in 2020, my first cookbook, Chicano Eats, Recipes from My Mexican American Kitchen, was published, and it was published right as the pandemic was starting to unfold. And so one of the things that I did that year was I launched a series of online cooking classes, and to help break the ice and loosen everybody up, we would always kick off the class by making a cocktail. And La Cuba, which is the cocktail that we're making today, is one that I would make about 75% of the time, and everybody always loved it. So I figured, what better way to break the ice on YouTube than with a beloved cocktail? With that said, I am looking good and feeling gorgeous, and I think it's time to get this cocktail started. I'm gonna get my garnishes and my salt rim going. This is just sal de grano, which is essentially a really chunky sea salt. This specifically comes from Cuyutlán, which is in Colima, Mexico, where my family's from. So now that I have my sal de grano for my salt rim, I'm just gonna get a couple of wedges from oranges and a couple of lime rounds from the limes. And I'm gonna be using that to garnish the drinks. And again, we're just gonna slice these in half so that we can get some really pretty wedges. And now we can move on to a couple of lime slices. If you're watching and your family is also from the state of Colima, or if you've ever been to Colima, let me know in the comments. Colima is one of the smaller states in Mexico, so it's always kind of rare to find other people who have been there or who are from there. It's such a beautiful state, and I always have the best time whenever we go. Okay, so I have my salt rim, and now we can go ahead and start crafting our cocktails. I think I love this cocktail so much because it reminds me of my dad. My dad is such a great host. Whenever there's a party, he'll be walking around with a bottle of squirt and a bottle of tequila, and he'll just be making cocktails for everybody. When I think of my dad, I always think of La Cuba. We're gonna start with some lime juice, and now we're gonna add some grapefruit juice on top of that, followed by some pineapple juice, followed by some tequila, and then we're just gonna add a tiny little kiss of mezcal. So we're just gonna top these off. And now we're just gonna give everything a nice little stir. I'm gonna take these orange wedges and then just lay them against the rim here. And then just gonna add a couple of lime rounds. They look so delicious and gorgeous and refreshing, and now all that's left is to give them a taste and see how we did. Honestly, I'm always going to give this a 10 out of 10. It is layered with so many different flavors. You get that smokiness from the mezcal, but then you also get these really sweet and tropical notes from the pineapple juice, which I feel like is the star in this cocktail because it really plays well with the grapefruit. Any bitterness that it brings, I feel like it just mellows it out. I really want to thank you guys for tuning in today to my first video, my debut here on YouTube. I hope you give this recipe a try. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can find the link to the full recipe down in the description bar, but you can also find this recipe in my cookbook, Chicano Eats, Recipes from My Mexican American Kitchen, which is available wherever books are sold. And you'll find the recipe in chapter 6, which is dedicated to bebidas or drinks. This cocktail is starting to hit, so I have a cocktail to go finish. I'm gonna catch you in the next video, and until then, nos vemos pronto y salud.